You know who I am?
Anything you say. Anything you say.
It's official.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now, everybody's heard that Biden has dropped out and Harris is going to try to run, which is the most insane, ridiculous thing. That's just as bad or even worse. We should never have a female president. Ever. I don't even think females should be in politics, period. To be honest. Research and scientific studies have proven that women tend to make the worst life decisions. So why would we give them a position of power? I mean, a good 98% of all our country's problems is due to women voting. It's just a statistical fact. But yeah, the fact that she's dumber or not, or as even as dumb as AOC. Fucking Harris, really? The Democrats are desperate. Oh, yeah, that's gonna work. Yep, she's totally gonna be able to defeat Trump. Whatever. Anyways, that's the big news. Let's get on to what I really want to talk to you about. Pros and cons of the game Fallout 4. Now, I started playing this game when it first came out because I loved Fallout 3. Fallout 3 was awesome. I've played all the Fallout games, even the first two, which were drop down like RPGs. But the one I never played was Fallout Tactics. I'd never heard of it until the television show that just came out here recently. Someone mentioned that game and I was like, I'd never heard of that one. But apparently there's a Fallout Tactics, which I've never played, but I've played all the others. A lot of people think Vegas is the best. I liked Vegas. But honestly, I didn't think it wasn't as good as Fallout 3. It just wasn't. I love Fallout 3. I've played it tons of times. It took me a long time to finish it because I get way into the game and then I just, not necessarily really bored, but need to take a break from it. And then when I got back to starting it over again, I'd be like, nah, I need to restart, so I'd start all over. So it took me a long time. The last time I played it, which I did a video on, if you look back through my videos, I did a review on it. I went and did everything. All the side quests and everything. All of it. I did all of it. I found every location, did everything that needed to be done in every location, found all the items that you needed to find, yada yada yada. So, that's my favorite. I didn't even care for 76. I tried a little bit and I was just, 76 is dumber than a box of rocks. But I started to play this when it first came out. And then I couldn't remember exactly what the reason was why I quit playing. Until I started it up again here just recently. Because of that show. I was like, oh, I'll give it another try. Now, I like aspects of Fallout 4. Because you have a lot of similarities to Fallout 3, of course. But there's a lot of differences between 4 and Vegas and 3 that I just don't care for at all. I'm still playing it, but there's a lot I just do not like. My biggest complaint, or the biggest con of this game, is the whole settlement crap. You gotta guard a settlement, and then you keep finding more settlements, and then you have to guard them and the people in them and take care of these people, and oh my gosh, it's just so annoying. I absolutely hate it. I don't want to take care of any damn stupid settlements. I hate that. I am not into like Minecraft type games where you build shit. I hate that crap. I don't mind doing like the building, say like in war strategy games where you got to build a building to build tanks or infantry or something like that, like Command and Conquer. I don't mind that kind of building, but this shit where, oh, let's build a home and put some decorations in that. Don't that look lovely? Come check out my home. Way! No, fuck that shit. I hate that crap. The second part I don't like is all the crafting crap, where you gotta build your own weapons and shit. Fuck that. Fuck that. I don't want to be... I spend the majority of the time of the game carrying and taking it back to base and fucking unloading and then scrapping. Because 90% of the game is nothing but scrapping material. Unless you want to cheat and get the mods that you can manufacture shit and you don't have to fucking scrap for material and crap. But I'm not a cheater, and I think you're pathetic if you use cheats all the fucking time. More power to you if you want to do it, but why play the game if you're just going to cheat at everything and make it simple and easy? There's no challenge. I prefer to play the game as it is. Now, have I used cheats in the past? Yeah, sure, everybody has. But I don't like doing it because it's just, it makes the game simple and boring when there's no challenge. But, yeah, I spend most of my time scrapping material and shit. And it's just so annoying because, like, you can't carry everything all the time. You have to make 3 or 4 trips back and forth with fast travel to get all your fucking material and then fucking scrap it. It's annoying. I can't stand it. I hate it. I hate that aspect, and I hate the whole, you got to build up your settlement and fucking guard these fucking dumbass people. I hate that crap. It sucks. Because that's all you spend your time on. Like, you hardly have time to do quests and get experience points and build your character up. I don't like it. With that being said, there are aspects of the game I do like. Like, when you do get to go on quests, it's like Fallout 3. Now, there is one annoying thing that I keep doing that really drives me up the wall. And it's something I always did in Fallout 3. Is, you go into, let's say you're looking into a a locker or some shit. You know, you're looking to see what's in there. In Fallout 3, you press the circle button. The X. Oh well, I was playing PlayStation. You press the circle button to get out of the locker. Um, and you always press square to grab everything. In this one, they still have the square button, but you don't need to press circle because it'll automatically bring up your Pip-Boy to get out. You just, you either press X to get what you want, or you press square to get all of it, and then you move on. You ain't got to fucking press circle. And I constantly press the circle to try. It's just force of habit. It messes me up sometimes. It really irritates me. But other than that, that's my major cons about the game. Is all that settlement bullshit. It's dumb, it's retarded, and it doesn't need to be in the game. I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but they need to be slapped upside the head. Because you're dumb. It's stupid. Another thing I don't care for, like I said, building your own weapons and all that crap. I hate that crap. In Fallout 3, all you did is you repaired. You repaired shit. You know, you found a weapon, you find a similar weapon, and you can use them to repair each other. I like that. I don't like this making my own weapons and crap. I can't stand it. Just give me the weapon and let me repair it. That's it. That's all I need. Same thing with the apparel. Same thing, the clothing. I don't need a bunch of crap to fucking make my own fucking uniform. It's dumb. But other than that, most of it's alright. I don't use companions. I never have. I didn't like using companions in Fallout 3. They just a couple of shots or whatever and they're dead. And then you've lost that companion. It's like, well, what's the point of having a companion? They're not helping you. Now in this one, they tell you can use stim packs to revive your companion. They don't die. But I just don't see the point in a companion. I'd rather not have to deal with a companion. I'd rather just do everything by myself. One other thing about this game, as far as enemies go, all the enemies are fine for the most part. However, even though they're fairly easy to kill, the fucking ghouls in this game is just ridiculous. Like, they're literally dodging bullets. They do this thing where they sidestep the bullets and shit all the time. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. That's the dumbest shit. They didn't do that in Fallout 3. The other thing is, in Fallout 3, they'd run at you. But in this one, it's like, they're 50 feet away, and then, bam, they're like instantly on you. And I'm like, and then they're behind you, and they're just whatever. And they come in packs. Like, there's just not a couple of them or so. They all come in packs. Like, there's always 6 or 7 of them at a time. It's really annoying. I don't like the way they did the ghouls in this game. I don't mind them being fast and running at you and all that kind of crap. But that sidestepping, dodging crap is just ridiculous. It's just dumb. That's the only enemy I have that I'm coming up with. They're easy to kill, but at the same time, it's just annoying. It's an annoying feature that they added in the game. That's completely unrealistic. Other than that, those are pretty much really about the only complaints I have for the game. It wouldn't be so bad if they knocked out all that settlement crap. I don't like it. It's a terrible addition to the game. Alright, let's move on. Alone, Season 8. I'm working on 11, but they've kind of paused it. I think they've only got 5 episodes out for Season 11, which I'm working on. But Season 8. Season 8 is the only other time I saw a woman that I was okay with. The rest of the women, throughout the entire show, even the season I'm on now, they're straight up feminist. I don't need no man, blah, blah, blah. And then they're whining and complaining on the show. Like they're ready to go home. They all do it. Every single one of them. But there's some guys on there that do that shit too. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? What is wrong with you? You're a dude. Act like a man. What the fuck? Anyways. There's a woman on Season 8 named Teresa. And she, by far, she's been the best looking woman the entire show has had. Of all the seasons, she's literally the best looking woman. She kind of having, she said she was born in the United States, and then she went to the UK and lived there for a good while, and then she came back. Now, she dug pretty much a fucking hole in the ground for her shelter, which is actually pretty smart. It's almost as smart as building the rock house that Roland built, because you'll get a lot more warmth to stay in that shelter from the ground if you've dug a hole in the ground and made, you know, the ground your walls and shit like that, which she practically did. I mean, not the roof, but for the walls and shit, she used the ground. That was pretty smart. Now, it took a lot of work. She probably spent quite a bit of calories and all that shit, but it was smart. She didn't win. Another guy won that season. I can't remember his name. And he's the only guy out of the entire series that didn't have someone show up at the end. Like they usually have their wives or something like that show up at the end to tell them they've won. He didn't have that. Whoever was supposed to be there didn't show up. They didn't do it for him. I felt sorry for the guy. But anyways, Season 8 was okay. But it wasn't nearly as good as the Mongolian one. The Mongolian one, hands down, best one. Of course, they're in fucking Canada again. I don't care if the show is based in Canada or not. They've proven they can go somewhere else. Plus, why does it always have to be a winter cold environment? There's other forests that you could be in that's like super, or environments like the desert and shit, that could be super hot and still be survival train or a survival show. But no, they just keep going to fucking Canada. They're making me sick of that country. Anyways, Season 8 was okay. It wasn't bad. But I've seen better from the show. Alright, let's get on to your B-movie reviews. Alright, movie holics. This week is Sci-Fi Week. One of these I'd never heard of before. It just popped up in my recommendations. I figured I'd go ahead and give it a watch. Check it out, even though it looked pretty cheesy. It was done in 1990. It only made about 400,000. I mean, I figured it probably just went straight to video, but apparently not. It's called Ultra Warrior. It starred Dak Rambo. Never heard of this dude. And Claire Beresford. Hope that's how you pronounce her name. Anyways, it was pretty cheesy. The story is about a guy. It's many years in the future. You know, it's a post-apocalyptic type movie. You know, wasteland kind of shit. Shit's been destroyed, blah, blah, blah. After the bombs fell. This particular guy, he's like an agent for a company or whatever, almost like, I wouldn't call him like, he's like a surveyor or some shit like that. There's supposedly these really rich deposits that would make a certain company very wealthy. But they're in a radiated zone, or supposed radiated zone. And they want him to go out there and see if it's okay for them to go get the deposits or whatever, this, you know, mineral or whatever it is, you know, if it's still seriously radiated or not in that area. There's a few cities, and he happens to live in one of them. Like they're, you know, they've built the city since the bombs. They're starting cities, and of course, you know, wealthy's wealthy, the poor is poor, blah blah blah. Anyways, he goes out there to check this place out. Now there are what they call mutants, of course, but there's like one guy has like a fin on his head, and they call him Chicken Head. And some of them have got like big giant elf ears. Just silly stuff like that. He goes out there and he runs across a guy calling himself the Bishop. Now the Bishop considers the radiated zone his territory. I forget what they have a name for the zone. I can't remember what it's called. But he goes out there and he runs across them. The mutant, the Bishop uses the mutants for entertainment. He makes them fight in these arenas or whatever. for all the normals that live in the area. Apparently it's not that radiated anymore. It's, you know, acceptable factors of radiation now, that humans can be in there. But anyways, they get in a big fight, the mutants and this guy who they're now calling their savior. They call him the Big White Wolf or some shit. And he's come to help rescue them from the bishop and set up a new colony in the radiated zone or whatever. Okay, whatever. Now, a lot of... anyway, they win in the end. And they get rich off the deposits, blah, 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 when that company pays them. But anyways, that's the end of the movie. They find out the bishop's actually a mutant, and for whatever reason he turned on the mutants. He gets away, though. They don't kill him. He's the only one who gets away. They kill the rest of the gang. I honestly, for as cheesy and B-rated as it was, I didn't think the acting was all that bad, actually. I was kind of surprised. I figured the acting would be really bad, but it wasn't, actually. It was actually fairly decent. It was watchable. The movie had some action in it, too. The action was okay. It was cheesy a little bit, but it was fairly decent. Like I said, I was kind of surprised. This movie wasn't really all that bad, to be honest. It really wasn't. I was shocked because from, you know, what I saw of like clips of it, I thought it was going to be cheesy as all get out, but it wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. I give the movie a thumbs up and a thumbs down. It really wasn't that bad. Check it out if you want. It's at least a one-time watch. Okay, let's talk about the next one. So, the next one I watched, I'm sure some of you have heard of it. It's called The Postman. It was done in 1997, and I'm surprised it only made $18 million at the box office. That's kind of shocking to me. I mean, it's a Kevin Costner film, so I thought it had done more. But apparently not. It only made $18 million. And of course it starred Kevin Costner and Olivia Williams. Now, this is another post-apocalyptic movie. I thought, you know, more or less, when the first time I've seen this a couple of times. You know, it's a good movie. I like this movie. I've seen it a couple of times, but I rewatched it again just to refresh my memory. Almost all of Kevin Costner's films, honestly, are like 3 hours long. Naturally, this one's about 3 hours. And the whole story is about, there's a guy who, after all the bombs fell, after years of, you know, the radiation dying and all that kind of shit, he took up the mantle of being some kind of dictator over some kind of army. And he wasn't shit before the bombs fell. He states that he was a salesman. But now he's this general, and he's whacked in the head. But he has this army, and he goes around to all these local towns where people have survived the aftermath, and he basically harasses them over and over again, you know. And that's pretty much all he does. He doesn't go out fighting or anything like that. He just builds an army of people. You know, he tells the townsfolk, you're going to give me 3 men, blah, blah, blah. And that's what he does. He'll collect a few men from every town in this area. Now, at one point in time, Kevin Costner's character, he's a drifter. He just lives alone and walks the wasteland alone. Well, he happens to come to this one town, and to get a meal and a good night's sleep at a nice bed or something, he puts on a play, a Shakespeare's play. Well, just as he gets done, this general, which calls himself Bethlehem, he comes in and he catches him. And then he tries to force him into his army. But Kevin Costner escapes. He runs across an old postal vehicle, and he assumes the identity of a postman. And he does it just to get a warm meal and a warm bed at the nearest town. But it becomes a thing. He has to make up this whole lie that there's a new United States and that it's being rebuilt and blah blah blah, and that there's a new president, and he just happens to be one of the postmen for this new government, so they can open lines of communication. Well, people start believing in him, and then at one point in time, Bethlehem captures this girl named Abby, which he kind of falls in love with, even though she's already married. But Bethlehem kills her husband, so he goes to rescue her, which he does, but he gets shot in the process. Now, they're holed up in the mountains during the winter, but when the winter's done, Abby forces him to go back. And he goes back and he finds out that there's this black kid who now calls himself Ford Lincoln Mercury, has created this whole thing of a huge postal service outpost. Excuse me. So now he ends up staying there and helping out for a little bit. But Bethlehem starts killing a lot of these postmen on a southern route. He starts killing them. And these postmen, most of them are just kids. They're like teenagers. So Kevin Costner's character tries to disband them. It doesn't work. Bethlehem goes after him, tries to kill him. So he comes back, and Bethlehem had created these 8 laws, and the 8 is his symbol of his army. And one of these laws is anyone who's a part of the Klan can challenge for leadership. So Kevin Costner shows him that he was a part of the Klan at one point in time, and he challenges him to leadership. so that there's not a big war or battle. So they end up fighting. Kevin Costner wins. And time goes on, and things become more modern, and they all praise him for doing it. The end. Sorry, it took a little bit to get through that, but it's a 3-hour long movie. It's a good movie. I like it. I really do. I think it's a really good movie. Definitely check it out. 2 thumbs up. One of his better ones, for sure. Now, I thought I'd done this one, a review of this in the past. But I didn't see a video on it, so I was kind of shocked. There's another one of a couple others of his that I thought I did, but I don't see them. I've had this channel for a while. But anyways, I'll have to get to doing those too. I thought I'd done them, but apparently not. Definitely check it out. It's a really good movie. One every few years I'll end up watching over again probably. It's that good. That's all I have for you this week. If you have any thoughts about what I talked about earlier in the video, the whole deal with Fallout 4, if you agree with me with the pros and cons of that. Also, again, I'll reiterate it like I did last video. The Alone series, they need to stop always going to Canada. It's getting old. They need to change it up. It's a starvation show. It's not a survival show. Half them people don't even know what the fuck they're doing. Some of them have a little bit of skill. But going out in your backyard for 2 fucking weeks and camping is completely different than what this show is portraying. You're going to a completely different forest in a territory you don't know, and you're having to actually hunt and fish to live, and they just can't seem to do it. It's like there's only been like 2 or 3 of them that's been able to catch big game, like a moose or something, that's sustained them through almost the whole show. Most of them don't do it. And those few got lucky getting their big game. It's just not practical. Just about everybody on that show starves themselves. That show is just who can last longest starving themselves. It's pretty much what the show is all about. It's not survival. If it was survival, they'd take their ass somewhere else. Try a different environment, like the desert. Not just super cold, freezing temperatures in a forest. Anyways, yeah, if you have any thoughts, leave them down in the comment section down below that I talked about earlier. If you could think of anything or heard of any type of movies or underrated films you think I never even heard of, please leave your suggestions down in the comment section down below. I'll get to reviewing them as soon as I can. So until next time, I told you you'd be told the truth, and you just been told.